Plant-based innovation offers a massive opportunity to reshape consumption patterns. While growing numbers of people identify as vegetarian or vegan, this is a drop in the ocean when we think about the shift needed to build a sustainable protein future. The scalable business opportunity lies in appealing to flexitarian consumers, delivering products that get people to switch easily. A new generation of analogues that offer high protein content alongside the organoleptic properties of meat or dairy is answering this demand. In the future, innovation could push the envelope further still, challenging preconceptions about what centre plate protein means. But today, to reach the mass market, the focus is on bringing in those flexitarian consumers through a meaty experience. Despite a buoyant category performance, a hurdle is emerging. The ultra-processed nature of meat and dairy analogues, which is necessary to deliver the taste or texture that consumers expect, is being placed under the microscope. From NBC to the Wall Street Journal and The Times, mainstream media outlets are probing the ingredients lists of analogue products. And whether it's for a high fat, salt or sugar content, or the use of GMOs and allergens, the sector is facing pushback. Plant-based is crashing up against another food industry megatrend: clean label. There's not a clear definition of clean label, but it has associations with attributes like nutrition and health, ethics, safety and quality, and certainly there is overlap between the drivers supporting plant-based. But naturalness is a core attribute that plant-based innovators are still struggling to incorporate into their formulations and processes. With scrutiny of plant-based nutrition increasing, could the sector's health halo slip? We see a growing need to formulate plant-based options that deliver on taste, texture and mouthfeel, but do so without sacrificing nutrition or perceived naturalness. This intersection between clean label and plant-based could prove a real sweet spot for future food industry innovation.
Clean label has undergone a major transformation in the last decade. Born as a direct manufacturer's response to consumer concerns around food safety, clean label has moved on to embrace natural foods, nutritious foods, and a greater content of plants. In fact, clean label is increasingly aligned with responsible, healthy, and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Lumina's scan of 47 CSR reports from the major food and drink manufacturers and suppliers, which held over 1,480 pledges against SDGs, actually already maps out 186 commitments that can be aligned to the broader clean label concept. Clean label commitments typically sit within Goal 12, Responsible Consumption and Production, and Goal 3, which is good health and well-being. In fact, these two goals are in the top 3 of the most committed to goals by the food and drink industry. Companies increasingly pledge to remove artificial ingredients, unknown ingredients, genetically modified ingredients, or provide transparency about using GMOs. They also widen their offering of plant-based alternatives, and 2023 is a very frequent deadline. These are simple pledges, but will result in long-term strategic changes, irrevocably shaping product formulations, NPD lines, and the whole food supply chain. Removing artificial flavors and preservatives opens up immediate opportunities for spices. For example, Kraft uses paprika, annatto and turmeric to create the signature yellow color in its mac and cheese recipe. Danone, leader in dairy, already claims to be the world's largest flexitarian company, then heavily invests in plant-based alternatives to its flagship Activia brand, as well as in new plant-based startups such as the recent acquisition in California. Consumer interest in plant-based has been on the rise too in the last 5 years, with 2019 seeing a particular boost in consumer searches on Google, and an even bigger boost in the interest in the concept of Beyond Meat. And coming back to Katie's earlier point, how easy is it to move from regular products to plant-based alternatives? Do we actually have to do that? Well, in some cases we do. Sports nutrition is probably one of the most challenging categories. Manufacturers have worked on plant-based formulations for years and years, as we know. Yet, based on over 1 million customer reviews left across the e-commerce platforms that Lumina captured, we can actually see that plant-based alternatives score consistently 0.2 stars lower than the animal-based offering. In the very competitive e-commerce environment, 4.2 stars for plant-based versus 4.4 for animal-based does actually reduce the commercial opportunity.
As Eva suggests, for the plant-based boom to continue, consumer experience needs to be placed front and centre. For many of us, there's a sense that the coronavirus crisis will mark a before and after point in society. COVID-19 has acted as an accelerator of food sector trends, changing the way we eat, shop and think about food. Products that deliver both clean label and plant-based stand to benefit from accelerated consumer concerns around food safety, diet and health. In the UK, for instance, sales data from Kantar covering lockdown shows meat alternatives are up 25% and free-from milks are up 28% on the year. A survey from the Vegan Society found 21% of people report cutting meat consumption during lockdown, and it would appear that for the time being at least, this does have sticking power. 19% of respondents said they would continue to buy analogues as lockdown eases. Meanwhile, in France, a YouGov survey found half of consumers say they have reappraised the value of food due to COVID. Transparency about ingredients and delivering health benefits have been identified as two important attributes for shoppers in the country. Again, clean label and plant-based can be leveraged to respond to this need state. But there could be a cloud on the horizon. Right now, plant-based frequently commands a price premium. The sector has not yet reached the scale needed to optimise supply lines. And, like any cutting-edge field, the leading plant-based innovators have substantial R&D expenditures. When global economies are buoyant, the value proposition of analogues means this isn't an issue. But what impact will the coming global economic downturn have? Will consumers be forced to think even harder by buying something that is new and different? The answer returns to heightened consumer needs around wellness. In this context, it could be more important than ever for plant-based products to deliver added value through positive nutrition and clean label credentials.